What's going on, guys? It's Kyle here, and today we're going to talk about what is it really like investing in real estate, what my life is like on the day-to-day, and maybe what your life would look like if you decided to get in real estate. But first, guys, if you don't remember, I'm trying to hit the 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2020, so hit the like button, comment below. It really helps push the video out to more people, so I appreciate you guys. And also, one more thing, if someone is really bored, go ahead and comment in the comment section below and count how many times I use filler words. So I have watched a couple of my videos and I realized that I say a lot of filler words like stuff like what I just said there. I say all kinds of filler words to just fill the space. So I'm trying to stop doing that. So if someone's really bored, count how many times I use filler words and comment below, and I'm gonna try to get better at that. All right, guys, so as you know, there's a ton of different ways you can invest in real estate, whether you're investing more passively, you're giving your money to maybe a syndicator who is buying the building and you're just getting a return on your money. Maybe you are in a joint venture where you are partnering 50-50 with someone, but you're more of the, the silent partner who maybe deals with the CPA, the attorney, and does some of the back end stuff. And maybe he's the one who's dealing with the tenants or the management company. Or maybe you're the one who's doing it full by yourself. Maybe you're doing all the management yourself and you're dealing with the tenants yourself and doing pretty much everything. So we're going to talk a little bit about the way that I do things, and I'm by no means saying that the way that I am doing it is the right way. It's just kind of the way I've designed my portfolio. And actually, I'd probably suggest most people don't go the route that I have. So let's jump into it. So a little bit about my portfolio first. I am by no means huge. I don't have that many units. I just have a couple small multifamilies and I have some mobile home parks. So I'm by no means to the point where I can't handle it myself. So that being said, I am doing most of the management myself, which is not something I'd probably recommend to most people. So the way that I design things, going all the way back to high school, I used to do a lot of the stuff myself. I actually did a lot of the maintenance and repairs myself. I still have my construction trailer. I still have all my tools. But that's probably not reality for a lot of people. Most people who are watching this probably have a job. They probably went to college and got a degree in something. And your time is probably better spent at that job, focusing on what you're good at, making your money, and maybe investing more passively. So me, I have designed pretty much everything in-house. I actually have really tried to build out my own property management company more or less in-house, and I don't really pay anyone else to do it. So it's really a whole nother video in itself if you should manage yourself or should you hire a property manager. Really, you just gotta look at your situation and figure out, hey, do I have the time to do it? Is it something I really want to deal with, or should I just hire a third party? So we'll talk about that in another video. But we're gonna get into more or less what I'm doing and what my day-to-day actually looks like. All right, so I made a list of some of the things that I do on the day-to-day, and we're gonna just go through them and I'll tell you about, what I'm doing, how much time it's taking, and how I have it set up. So first of all, shout out to my mom. She is my full-time bookkeeper. She is doing things like paying my taxes, the insurance, all my bills, making sure that I'm not, going delinquent on things. So to preface that, we are first using a software called Rent Manager, and that's where we input all of this stuff. So if you don't know what Rent Manager is, it's just a software that can help you track your income and expenses and things like that. So I highly recommend, if you're going to get into real estate, look into getting some type of software like that. So bookkeeping, I spend maybe an hour to a week, not a lot of time. My mom does 95% of it, and then she'll send me bills where I'll go through and expense things like, hey, this was for, this Home Depot charge was for this unit, this landscaping bill was for that property, and so on and so forth. The next thing we're going to talk about is managing managers. So I have 3 managers who kind of work for me. So actually, the way that it's set up, 2 of them live in my 2 mobile home parks. They each get free lot rent, and I pay them a little bit of money every single month just to oversee things. So most of the tenants report directly to those 2 managers, and then they report things to me. Like if there's major issues, they'll contact me. But if it's something like, hey, a tree limb fell down or something like that, they'll take care of it. I have another manager that sits in a different mobile home park that I don't own. It's where I own some just individual mobile homes. What is that? Oh, there's a trash truck backing in front of my house. I don't know if you can hear that, but so this guy, he lives in this other third mobile home park that I don't own, and he oversees the 11 mobile homes that I own. So he's doing a lot more hands-on stuff because I actually have to take care of the repairs and maintenance on those homes. So he's doing a lot of stuff like, you know, fixing clogged sinks, he's replacing toilets, he's fixing doors and all that. So I pay him a little bit of money every single month just as like a flat fee to manage it. And then I also pay him hourly for when he has to actually fix things. So I probably spend maybe a couple hours a week just talking to them on the phone and telling them, hey, let's do this, or yes, you can order that material. But really they handle a brunt of the actual like conversation with the tenants. All right, so these next three kind of go all together, and it all revolves around renovations. So when a tenant moves out, I'll walk through the unit and say, hey, it looks like the floor needs replaced there. We need to, you know, repaint the walls, clean the carpets and things like that. So, you know, again, my managers are doing quite a bit of the overseeing, but they don't make a lot of decisions when it comes to, you know, adding renovations to a property or dumping a lot of money into them. So I'll go over there and I'll walk the unit and make a list of what we need to do, and I'll tell them what we need to do. But if it's something major like, hey, we're gonna replace a kitchen, I've got contractors that I'll call and say, hey, you know, I have a project over here. And so I'll work with them, and, you know, maybe I'll order the kitchen, all the cabinets and the countertops and things like that. So, you know, when I do have renovations going on, a lot of my time is spent, you know, picking up the material, working with the contractors, and just overseeing the renovations. So yeah, I really, that's the three, you know, overseeing renovations, picking up material, and dealing with the contractors. All right, so this next one, without this, none of this would be possible, and that is meeting with potential tenants. So if I don't have tenants to rent my spaces, everything I do is pointless. So I do spend quite a bit of time when I do have, obviously, you know, rentals open, showing those units, meeting the prospective tenants, and trying to make a decision whether or not I should rent them or not. That can be a tricky thing to do because it's really hard to judge a book by its cover, but I have certain steps that we go through just to make sure that they are going to be a good tenant. So, you know, when I have units open, I'll maybe schedule a couple days a week where I'll pack that day full of showings, and then, you know, I'll have as many showings as I can while I'm at the property, and then you know, I'll decide from there. So, you know, that I don't spend a ton of time showing properties because I don't have a lot of units really anymore. Again, if you remember, I have these mobile home parks where everyone owns their own homes, so I really don't have to spend a lot of time showing, you know, units. All right, two more. The last one's probably the most important thing that I do, but what we're going to talk about next is working with a CPA and attorney. So, you know, this is not something I'm doing every single day, but I am on the phone with my CPA once in a while trying to make decisions on, hey, should I buy this now, or, you know, just getting ready for taxes. And then my attorney, you know, whether I'm going through an eviction, maybe I'm setting up a new entity, maybe I'm restructuring things, whatever it is, or just legal questions, you know, I will work with them. But the most important one that we're going to talk about is, you know, remember, guys, what are you best at, or what do you need to be focusing on to be adding the most value? And for me, it's analyzing new deals or trying to find new deals. So the 80-20 rule, 20% of your action gives you 80% of the results. So all this other stuff, you know, the bookkeeping, the managing the managers, the picking up materials, I think of that as like the 80%. You know, it's important, but it's something that I could hire out. And it's not where the best value is spent for me. The best value that I can add is finding new deals, finding a property that has a ton of equity in it, or maybe a property that I can, you know, go and fix up and renovate, and then, you know, refinance and make money that way. But if you look at, you know, everything that I do, the most important thing that I do is find new deals. All right, guys, well, hopefully that gave you a little better insight into what my days look like. No day is the same. Every day, you know, has its challenges. Some days my phone doesn't ring. Some days it rings, you know, every day. The other day, my wife and I were sitting at the table and I was showing her my phone, and I had made like 35 phone calls that day. So some days are like that, and some days it's just, you know, pretty easy and pretty quiet. So appreciate you guys watching this video. As always, we'll see you in the next one, and thanks for watching.